My name is Bushra. I'm from Sonipat, Haryana, and I'm going for FCAT entry.
Okay.
Yes.
This is your first time.
Yes, sir.
And what marks have you got in your AFCAT?
Sir, 175.
And this is the first time that you took your AFCAT?
Yes.
Which college are you from?
Sir, Keshav Mahavidyalaya, Delhi University.
Okay. Yes, Harsh.
Yes, sir.
Let's get to know a little bit about you.
Sir, I am from Delhi, and I am not from defense background, and I am going for ND entry, and earlier I had given 4 attempts.
Okay. And you've also taken some coaching from
Yes.
1 or 2 institutes before coming here.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes. Neeraj.
Sir, my name is Neeraj Sharma. I'm from district Saranpur, Uttar Pradesh. I'm going first time SSB by the NDA entry. I'm not from defense background, and this is my first time.
First time you're here.
Yes.
Okay. How has been your experience here?
So my experience is good.
Okay. Right. Okay, Akshay.
Sir, I am from Gurugram, Haryana. My father is in Air Force. This will be my 4th attempt for ND entry.
And your father is what in the Air Force?
Sir, Junior 1 officer.
And where is he posted now?
Subrotapad, AFCU.
And you've stayed in a lot of cantonments before?
Yes, sir.
Right. And you've been motivated right from the beginning to
Yes, sir.
for NDA. And you said you've also been to 2-3 SSBs before this. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you've also taken some coaching from some other places. Yes. And Rohan, yes.
So my name is Rohan. I'm from Nashik, Maharashtra, and my father is in the Air Force. He's posted in Delhi right now. That's why I'm here, and I'm going for NDA entry. And this is my first time appearing for this.
What rank is he serving?
Group captain.
And which branch of Air Force is he in?
He's a fighter pilot. He's in air raid quarters.
Okay. And what aircrafts has he been flying?
He mainly MiG-21.
Okay. Right. So, so you have a lot of background of defense, and you also are pretty motivated to join the defense forces. And some of you have been to SSB once, twice, thrice, or whatever. So, first thing is, if you do not get recommended or you do not get screened in the SSB, is it any kind of aspiration on your personality, or it is one of those things that you did, it didn't work? One of those things, it didn't work, right? If we had found that you're not good, we would have not called you again. It's just that on that given day, you didn't perform the way you should have. Right? At times, Tendulkar also gets out on 0. That doesn't show that he's not a good batsman. And on a particular day, a bowler can be, thrashed nice and proper, but that doesn't mean that he's not good. First thing, do you have that after this 2 weeks? Have you got that faith in yourself that whatever be the case, I'm capable of making it?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Right, Sujat? You think you have got that faith in yourself?
Yes, sir.
Faith has happened now.
Because of the so much of practice we did in Cavalier,
Okay.
and we got our personal feedback from the faculty. And,
Yeah. Why do you think that you think that you will get through? Why do you think? Why do you have that feeling?
Yes, sir. Earlier I was in confusion and I don't have any knowledge what is SSB and what is going to be happen there. But now I also able to learn what is going to be happen there, and I also I have more self confidence to do anything.
Than what you earlier had.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Harsh.
Sir, in my dad's story, so earlier I had thought that I would be going in my natural way, but here I realized that I am not able to organize my story very well, and some actions that I am adding, so they are not very practical. So
They look to be little out of place.
yes.
Okay.
And sir, in my responses also, so this time here I got to know that I can write my original responses because I had been assessed by all SSB assessors that had been there in SSB earlier.
So this time nose up, chin up.
Yes, sir.
This time I said nose up, chin up.
Yes, sir.
Definite.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Neeraj, you tell me.
So because it is my first SSB interview, and I did not have idea too much about it, so I came here and joined the Cavalier. I had done a lot of practice of every task related to psychology, GTO, and also I had done 2 mock interviews of personal interview. So now I am confident about the procedure whole, and I'm confident that I'm capable of doing things.
Okay, now you're not from a defense background,
No, sir.
and you're also from a small village.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that is any kind of a handicap for you?
So I think now I'm confident of.
It is not an handicap,
No, sir.
right? Irrespective of whether you're from a small place or you're from a defense background, you don't think that it is a handicap. Why do you feel that way, that it is not an handicap for you?
Sir, because it depends on me that how I'm taking my situation, and now I think I had done a lot of.
You think you've learned enough? You think that you practice enough?
Yes, sir.
You can face it anytime.
Yes, sir, I can.
At any time we call you for SSB, you're ready to take it
Yes,
on.
sir.
Right. So, Akshay,
Yes, sir.
how are you feeling now? I mean, what is the difference that you're getting this time from which you did not have it probably the last time?
So this time we have done a lot of practice of GD, GP. So I'm very confident that I'll be performing very good when I'll be going to my actual SSB. And also, sir, I used to take psych test very lightly. But here I learned that psych test is not just limited to TAT, WAT. It's more than that. It's how we first bring the change in ourselves, and that then it gets reflected to our TATs.
Okay, Rohan.
Yes, so before coming to Cavalier, I wasn't aware of the tests which were going to take place at SSB. I had read a bit, but after coming here, I got to know each of the tests and what to expect there when I go there, and what to do in all
But
these
you happen
tests.
to be from a defense background, your father is an officer, how is it
Yes,
different?
sir. He told me a bit about each test, but when I came here, we went into the depth and practiced and tried hard, and now we know what to do when we
So
go
you're
there.
ready to take it on.
Yes, sir.
And
And okay, let's start with the screening. Let's start with the screening test. Right? In the screening test, first thing is that you got your OIR,
Yes.
reasoning.
How are you feeling about it now, each one? I mean, randomly. How do you think? How you've done enough practice of OIR here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You were taught every type of
Questions that
Yes,
they come.
yes, sir.
Yes.
right? And you think in the given time, what percentage? What do you think, Harsh? What percentage will you be able to get?
Sir, above 95.
Yes. What do you think?
So 90-95%.
Yes,
I'm sure.
Yes, sir, 19. Around
Push button.
Sir, above 90.
About 90, right? How is it going to help you to get so many marks in OIR?
Sir, we have learned a lot of tricks here to do questions faster.
Yes.
So OIR mainly is about the
Speed.
timing.
It's about the speed.
Yes, sir.
Roughly, how much time do you get for a question?
30 seconds.
About 30 odd
30
seconds.
seconds.
You think you can do it in 28, 29 now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Easily.
Yes, sir.
Will you sweat it out there? You'll be pretty comfortable.
Comfortable.
You'll be pretty comfortable.
How is getting 90% or 85% important for your screening? How is it important? Because PPT is a separate test. How is that?
Interesting.
So because it is officer intelligence test,
Okay.
and if we have good marks in this, then it shows our intelligence as an.
It shows that your basic IQ is
Yes, sir.
Higher.
Higher.
Yes.
Right?
it will have some bearing on your PPT, yes or no?
Yes.
When you do the entire weightage,
Yes.
then you right? So this is something which is totally in your hand.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
There is no way that you'll mess it up.
Yes.
You will get that if you've been getting 80-90% here, you'll definitely get the same kind of percentage here. Now, 2-3 of you done SSB earlier. You did the similar kind of questions what came in the SSB?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What came in the SSB there?
Yes, sir.
Similar type of questions were covered here
Yes, sir.
in detail,
Yes, sir.
right? So that's the first part of your screening. Now we get onto the PPT, right? What have you picked up here? That how do you think you would like to take on your PPT? Neeraj?
So the first thing that the story should be related to the picture,
Mhm.
and so then the narration part that I have practiced a lot here of the narration, and so after that the contribution in the JD should be on the story, not on too much on that how we see in the picture. There should be contribution to the making of the common story, common group story.
Okay, Sujit, you've been screened out 3-4 times.
Yes, sir.
Right? What makes you think that this time short you will definitely get screened in? What makes you feel that?
So initially I was confused regarding the PPT and TAT images. So I just made preconceived idea. The imagination power was not that much enhanced that I expected. And this time I have practiced a lot, and the faculty has told us about how to write, how to think, how to imagine, how to go on to the picture, and what is depicting in the picture, and to perceive it carefully.
So how important is the picture in the whole thing?
Do you think you can prepare 8-10 stories and go and put it there? You
No,
think
sir.
that is possible?
No, sir.
No.
Sir.
Right, it is not possible. So that means the picture itself is an important aspect.
Yes.
So how do you start viewing the picture now? You know, you've been there 3-4 times now, and now you're going. How do you think you'll view the picture differently this time?
So the faculty told us to see the picture clearly, the every aspect and every point over there to see very carefully. And
Does the picture have its own ambience? Does it have its own kind of mood? The entire
Yes, sir.
picture,
Yes.
right? And if you don't relate it to that, what happens?
so it is just like
If you have a preconceived one, will it work? You think now it will work. No, it won't work,
Yes, sir.
right? So the first thing that you understand is the picture is an important aspect which has been told to you.
Yes.
And any preconceived thing is not going to work for you. Yes. Right. But do you think you have enough wherewithal with you now that in PVDT, in that short time when everybody is in such a confusion, that you can bring up a new story, bring up a good story at that time? What makes you feel that you'll be able to bring up a good story?
Sir, practice, I'll say, and writing more stories and observing different things. So we come up with new ideas, and if we read more stories, we'll have experience, and the ideas we'll be able to write them down in the given time.
Yes, Akshay, how many practices of PVDT that you did?
So 6 to 8 practice.
6 to 8 practices.
And when you wrote the story, if they were not up to the mark or if there was something required, was it conveyed to you?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Did you take it in a sporting manner or you thought कि हमारी बाहर बारी उतार देते हैं?
So sporting manner. That was the real reason I came here.
That is the reason that you do it in a sporting manner and every time you picked up new things.
Yes, sir.
Did you pick up
Anything from others also?
Yes, sir.
When you did 6-7 practices, what do you think, Harsh? You picked up from others also?
that when you heard others, you picked up a lot of things from them because of this practice?
Yes, sir. Sir, the ideas I got more from by listening to them, and also the improvements that were told to those candidates. So I listened to them and I didn't repeat them. So that thing I came to know also.
So Pushpa, you are going for the PPT for the first time.
Yes, sir.
You think it is still an enigma, something that you don't know, but something very scary. What you see on the YouTube के सब लोग गला काट देते हैं, सबको fail कर देते हैं.
Are you getting that kind of a feeling?
No, sir.
Why not?
Sir, I have learned that we have to see the picture and very clear, very means like in a way that we will be able to see how many characters are there, what are their facial expressions, sad or happy, and about what is the environment there, either it is a forest or a road, and we have to imagine something which is logical and practical.
So all of you are sure that from what stories you were writing earlier in PPT, now your story quality is definitely much above that.
Yes, sir.
And you'll be able to take it on?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so that's one part of the story writing. Right? Now comes your narration. How do you think, Sujal or Akshay, how do you think your narration has improved this time from the previous times that you went for PPT?
So it is about the time we get, and the faculty told us to manage our time. First of all, we should prioritize our mood, male, female, or year, and
What do you think, Bete, that in this 45 seconds to 1 minute that you get for your narration, how much of time should you be spending on how many people are there, that initial narration?
So the starting 5 seconds, I'll say the introduction of the scene and what you perceive, how many characters,
Right.
and then the
Then
gist of
quickly
the
sum up the story.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And the action.
Yeah, how do you think, Neeraj and Akshay, that what do you think you should be concentrating on while narrating?
So the main focus should be on the theme and the actions of our story, rather than the characters we perceive and their moods.
That's not very important.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is the right kind of theme. Now, how do you think you can build up the right kind of thing? What has made you feel differently here that now you can build the right kind of thing? What has helped you with? How has it been of help?
Theme should be very much related to the picture.
Okay, that's the first part. That it has to be.
Related to the picture.
That means you can't have a pre-prepared story.
Yes, sir.
You have to think at that moment.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
And the
And
second point is that, sir, it should be a new theme. It shouldn't be a theme very cliche one, like preparing for an exam.
How does a cliched theme trouble you?
So because in the PPT there is a large number of students who report, so there is a competition among students. To stand apart from them, we have to show something, a spark in ourselves.
Okay.
That's why.
So you're going for the first time.
Yes, sir.
And what do you think? You'll be able to narrate properly?
Sir, I'll be able to narrate properly because we have to give a very crisp introduction what we perceived and how much characters, and we don't have to waste too much time on that part. In starting and just come to the story, and story first the theme, and story should be related to the picture very much, and after that we should complete the narration in given time.
Harsh, how do you think by attending 2 weeks here, how has your narration improved as far as PPDT is concerned?
Sir, earlier I used to focus on 1 minute, that I am having a 1 minute time, but I started focusing on 30 minutes that I have to complete in 30 minutes. So from that I started including the important points in my narration from my story, and also I started writing good stories better than before. So due to that I gained more confidence, and I was having more confidence.
You're trying to say because you feel that your story is good, you get that confidence that I'll be able to do it.
Yes, sir.
And if your story is not good, the confidence automatically goes down, right? So that's the part of your narration. You will be pushpa facing for the first time.
Yes, sir.
You think you'll be able to narrate properly now?
Yes, sir.
Same thing applies to you.
Yes, sir.
You'll be able to take it on.
Yes, sir.
Repeater भी आएंगे तो भी कोई problem नहीं है.
No.
Yes.
You'll be able to take them on. Okay, right. So now when you have this in the PPDT, when you have this everybody narrating, there are how many students there generally?
15, 20.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How do you utilize that time when other people are narrating their stories? How do you want to use that time for your being effective?
Sir, we should listen each and every story the candidates are narrating, and we pick the ideas, the very important ideas aspects.
Were you doing that in the earlier times when you went?
No, sir.
Probably not.
Yes.
Probably not. Right? You think that has changed in you?
Yes, sir.
That now you listen to others more carefully. That applies to you, Harsh.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Right?
Why is it so important that you listen to others?
So because that's gonna benefit us in the GD.
That is what benefits you in the
GD.
Why?
So because in the GD we must know what our friends have told a story, because we have to come to a common story. So we
Yes.
should at least know what were their story, so we can pick up the good ones.
So, Ron, what do you think?
So we have to listen to other stories because we have to accept a story. If someone else has a better story, we should build around that story, and everyone should accept it as the group story,
Okay.
even if our story is not up to the mark.
So the GD, as per your experience, you all have been to SSBs, right? How much time do you actually get for the GD?
Sir, about 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Okay, what was happening earlier? जब पहले बारी गए थे, were you really able to contribute in the GD?
No, sir.
No, right? Why not? Why not?
So we were thinking, what should we speak?
Okay,
That was the problem, and what important we should contribute to the common story. We were not.
you're not concentrating on
Yes,
that.
sir.
Were you prepared for the GD even before the GD started, or were you not?
No, sir.
But now,
We are
Yes,
prepared.
You think you can be prepared even before the GD because there is hardly any time.
Yes.
If you start thinking later on, then the time will be over. So you think you now feel that even when the narration is going on, you have the capacity to work on your GD in a manner that you will be effective.
Yes, sir.
is it really important to discuss in the GD how many people, what is their mood, and how many genders, and what are, is it really important?
No, sir.
Why not?
Sir, we are concerned about the common group stories. So everyone would be having a different number of characters or a different number of
So you think you should be doing that GD? There are 2 people or 3 people, or there are 24 years or 28 years. You think that's a good part to do in the GD?
So just we can tell that these many characters and
Probably gloss over it.
Yes.
So what is the concentration that you should have?
Sir,
On the
On the
and
actions in the
On the-
story.
Action of the story.
On the action of the story and contribute to the
Common
Common story.
common story. Do some value addition to the story, or let it be the way it is.
So value addition.
But then there are 15 people and
There will be common story will only relate to one person. So you think only that person will pass?
No, sir.
Why not?
Sir, we are
Sir.
contributing to the
Sir, we-
common group story. So because of that, as we are contributing to it, so
Does that common story belong to one person, or it is a mixture of a lot of
So
people?
mixture of a lot of people.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So So now that is something that you can prepare well in advance or no?
Yes.
Right. So now that every phase of the PPDT, you think you're capable of handling it
Yes.
phase by phase,
Yes, sir.
right? And since you're doing phase by phase, you know how it is to be tackled. That is why the confidence is there that you can handle it.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Huh? And even if you get only 4 to 5 minutes in the GD, will you be able to participate once or twice or thrice? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Huh? Definitely.
Yes.
So what do I take it? That all of you 100% will get screened in, or do we have doubts?
We'll 100% get screened in.
Definitely. मतलब ऐसी हवा में बोल रहे because I am saying कि you feel it from the heart. Huh?
Feel it
You
from
feel
the
it from the
heart.
heart.
Yes, sir.
So will your legs be shaking there when you go there?
No, sir.
गला सूखा हुआ होगा?
No, sir.
भगवान बचा ले हनुमान चालीसा?
No, sir.
No? You'll be confident about yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is no way that you'll get screened out.
Yes.
हवा में के genuinely?
Genuinely.
Genuinely, you not get screened. Okay, now we go to psychology. You had a lot of long sessions in psychology.
Yes, sir.
And what do you think is the most important part in psychology part? Which is the most important here?
Action.
No, in the 3 tests that you, 4 tests that you had,
TAT.
right?
Yes.
Now, what difference has it made? You've done con earlier, you had some coaching earlier. Harsh, you also had some coaching. Akshay, you also had some coaching. What difference did you find in the psychologist that he taught you here, which was not taught to you earlier, that it has made you feel a little more confident about your own TAT? Yes, Udit.
Sir, first of all, he gave the faculty here gave me a personal feedback,
Okay.
and I worked on it. And
Sometimes he must have scolded you.
yes,
also.
sir.
हाँ?
Yes, sir.
पढ़ी होगी काफी सारी.
Yes, sir.
But बाद में तालियां भी बजी थी, मेरे को याद है.
Yes, sir.
हाँ? Okay. Yes. So
That's why I was able to imagine beyond. He told
any direction difference in the way you were writing story?
Sir, earlier I was not associating the story with me, but earlier I was associating with anyone of the person like IAS, but I was not having the idea about that life of IAS. So I would not be able to write good story on that. But now I am associating, so I am writing better stories.
Akshay, what do you think? The protagonist or the center figure or the hero, whatever you call him,
Yes, sir.
you think you can handle that person better now?
Yes, sir.
Is it somebody foreign to you? Is it, or you take it is probably you?
Sir, it is me.
It is probably you.
Yes.
So, are you there in a competition of writing story next Munshi Premchand or next J.K. Rowling? Is what we are looking at?
No,
Are we looking at your ability to write good stories
No,
and put it in a publishing house or something?
No, sir.
Then what are we looking at? I mean, why make you write a story? You're going to go to Fauj, Banduk chalaoge. Why make you write story? How stupid it is. Why make you write stories? How does it show about you?
To know the personality of the person.
From your story, how do I get to know your personality?
By the thing which the student is writing.
How do you think the psychologist gets to know your personality from the
So
reading? You've been told.
So
So
our
when
actions
we
and
write a
reactions.
story, then we have to see which is not visible in that picture, and we have to see beyond that.
So there's a picture which is shown to you, which is a stimulus.
Yes, sir.
And if you have to build up a story there and then, will you do it from your own experience or just because you read it in some book?
On experience.
Yes, sir.
When you put your experience on the paper, then what happens? What about the reader, the person who reads it, or the assessor when he reads that? What does he get to know from the story?
That
Your
is
experience.
Yeah.
Is your experience your personality?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
So would you rather like to write from your experience, your age experience, or your family experience, or borrow from XYZ and then put it there?
Right
Sir,
from
on
our own
experience.
experiences.
You think you have enough experiences, you've got enough exposure that you can write 12 stories, or do you need support system?
So
We have
Yes, sir, we can write on our own.
Whatever stimulus comes now?
Yes.
Yes.
Huh? You think you can write?
Yes.
But then can anyone write all 12 perfect stories?
No.
No. Do we expect perfect stories from you?
No.
We expect stories which are palatable,
Yes, sir.
which are acceptable, which relate to your age group or my age group, which relate to your kind of experience or my kind of experience. Then that is why the books cause a problem,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right? So you feel that in TAT, in your own words, Harsh, from what you were writing earlier to now, what exactly has become the difference?
Sir, firstly about the age. So I was taking it to be a elder person. Like I used to take a person like the main character as a father of anyone. So I would not be having the idea that the father what he would be doing in that condition.
So you can't relate to that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But then I started relating it as a student. So as a student, I know that what I can do in that case. So I started doing writing my actions in that. So they were better than earlier.
Neeraj, you've never been to SSB, right? But YouTube पे तो देखा होगा.
Yes, in starting.
YouTube पे तो देखा होगा.
Yes, sir.
तो जो YouTube पे जो देखा था
Yes,
TAT के बारे में और जो यहाँ दुआ सर ने पढ़ाया, what is difference?
So the first thing that we should associate the picture on our life, and we should share our own experience, that the actions with associated with the result. In every line there should be action and there should be a result, so that we can give the more and more actions in our story, and that should be the main.
Now, same applies to you, Pushpa. You must have also seen a lot of YouTube.
No, sir.
You didn't. You came here totally raw.
Yes, sir.
But you think now you're become the next J.K. Rowling.
What, sir?
You become the next J.K. Rowling. अगली किताब तुम लिखोगी. नहीं ऐसा है कि नहीं? You don't have to write a book. You're just going to give your experiences.
Sir, I learned that we have to write a line and it should be like we should have an action and there should be a result. That's I learned here.
Right, and it should relate to your.
Right.
You're right. Okay. What about WT? How comfortable are you feeling with the WT now?
Now I'm very comfortable. Earlier, given a word in 15 seconds, I couldn't think of a phrase or a sentence. Now with practice, I can think of a reasonable sentence.
Do you really have to think or it is instinctive?
So it comes to my mind directly by just
So you
seeing
really
a
don't
word.
have to think.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What do you feel?
Yes, sir, and I also came to know that which types of sentences are expected from us, which are the good sentences, which one are not very valuable to the psychologist. So
Right.
now I have improved.
And जो पहले लिखते थे कई बार simply facts narrate कर देते थे.
Yes, sir.
It's just narration of a fact
Yes, sir.
which carries no value.
Yes, sir.
Right? At times you were just borrowing from various books. You think now you can instinctively go to a WT or you really do mug up answers and remember 100 sentences and put them there one way or the other. What do you think?
Sir, it comes now. It's come directly.
Now it is coming naturally.
Yes, sir.
And you feel you're comfortable.
Yes, sir.
Is 15 seconds sufficient to write or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It is sufficient.
Yes, sir.
You think you'll be able to take it on?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now what did the psychologist tell you about the SRTs? How to go about dealing with that? And what is it that you learned which you probably didn't know earlier about the SRTs?
So we have to focus on the goal of the main character, that is us. And sir, for example, when someone is going to give some exam, then his focus should be only on the exam and other distractions should be avoided.
अक्षय पहले भी करके आए, right? पहले भी SRTs को attempt किया.
Abhi, what difference do you find? That पहले मैं कैसे attempt करता था, now I'm going to. What is the difference in the approach?
So earlier, so SRT there is a question answer type of paper. There comes a problem, so I have to solve it. Now I came to know that it's practical. I have to actually imagine it and focus on the main aim of the character there. If I'm going to exam, then I have to give exam only.
So Rohan, do you think that SRT which is given to you, you've got to live it in your mind,
Yes, sir.
right? Or you got to cram it?
No, sir. We have to imagine.
You have to
Imagine.
probably live it in your mind and give a
Yes,
response.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Do we want Hercules type of responses? James Bond kind of responses?
No, sir.
Superman responses?
No, sir.
No, we don't want them. What do you want?
So practical
Something
and
practical
realistic.
which appears to be
Realistic.
realistic. Do you have to come out as a big hero every time?
No,
You have to come out like somebody, पता नहीं कौन आ गया, the biggest general of the defense forces. Or do you have to come out like a normal human being of your
So
age?
that's a normal energy.
Right?
Yes.
So you don't have to be superlative.
Yes, yes.
You don't have to go beyond. You don't have to go overboard. So that is the difference you found in the way you're attempting Harsh, the way you're attempting SRTs now.
Yes, sir.
You think out of 60, how many will you be able to take on? Genuinely. 60 तो आज तक किसी ने की नहीं.
Sir, more than 50 I would be able to.
You'll be able to do? Yes, what do you think?
Yes, sir. Around 50 to 50.
You're going for the first time.
The three of you. You think you'll be able to do
Yes.
a reasonable number?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
पिछली बारी कितने किए थे Harsh?
Sir, last time I did 38.
Or how many did you
So
do?
35.
अब कितने करे?
54, 55.
Magic क्यों हुआ?
So because I learned how to attempt actually.
You have now understood
Yes, sir.
how to deal with it.
Yes.
You think you should be scared of SRTs?
No,
कि
sir.
पता नहीं क्या है, भगवान बचा ले, something that God help me this time, अगली बार ऐसी गलती नहीं करूँगा.
No, sir.
Something of that sort. It can come naturally to you.
Yes, sir.
So the entire psychology is natural.
Yes, sir.
And if you become artificial, then what happens?
They got
That is
We are
not
able-
you.
not
Then
able
you, then you mess up,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you're presenting your natural self to them. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So are they looking at your natural self or your artificial self?
Natural, sir.
And if you give your artificial self, then what happens?
They catch it.
Then not really.
Yes.
And not really.
Yes,
Huh?
yes, sir.
Then they call you again, right? Okay, so that's the part. You're really feeling good that you can really work out on your psychology and you can really do exceedingly well. Sure?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
then comes the fun part. Actually, fun part is the GTO, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
मतलब तो GTO में आता है ना,
Yes, sir.
right? So is GTO fun part के मुसीबत?
Sir, fun
Fun
part.
part.
Fun part.
Yes, sir.
Okay, which is the fun part you found to be the best fun part in the entire GTO series?
Individual task.
PGT.
Individual task, okay,
Yes.
individual task, PGT, right? मतलब the physical part of it,
Yes, sir.
right? बड़ा मजा आता है, it is good. Right? उधर पहलवानी देखते हैं कि डोले का साइज क्या है, कितना एब्स है, कितना वो है,
You know, थोड़ा इधर वो 6-8 packs है कुछ क्या देखते हैं वो? Do you really require to be a Rambo?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Then I mean like then what do you require to be?
Oh,
Is individual obstacle really scary?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Did you do the practice here?
Yes.
Yes.
You were told the technique how to deal with it?
Yes.
Yes.
If you're not able to do something, you were told how to handle it and how
Yes.
it can be done.
Yes.
Vertical rope सबने किया?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You're able to do it easily?
Yes, yes,
हाँ? वही लगता है ना toughest?
Yes.
Yes.
और किसी को हाइट से डर तो नहीं लगता?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
हाइट वाला डर कहाँ आता कहाँ पर है वैसे?
Individual obstacles.
नहीं कहाँ पर आता है?
Command task.
नहीं कमांडो वॉक में आता है, but अब लगता है?
No, sir.
You think that you'll be really scared or you'll be able to handle it? कितने कर लोगे 3 मिनट में?
Yes, sir.
All.
All.
नहीं और तो ऊपर और भी जा सकोगे नहीं जा सकोगे?
Yes, sir.
हाँ कर सकते हैं, but is it really important कि ऊपर से और करने से कुछ ज्यादा फर्क पड़ जाता है?
It may be good, but it is really overwhelming कि किसी ने 15 कर दिया तो उसको पक्का पास करेंगे ऐसा कुछ है?
No, sir.
No, right? So it's okay if you can do fine physical है, but then but should you show that you're scared?
No,
No,
sir.
No, sir.
Huh? Right. So you know how to handle. You were taught how to do it. That scare is totally out.
You're going first Pushpa for the first time.
Yes, sir.
You think you'll be scared when you do individual obstacles?
No, sir.
What about you?
No,
No,
sir.
तू तो फौजी बैगम से
Yes,
वैसे भी नहीं
sir.
होना चाहिए. Right, okay. Now progressive group task.
Some of you attempted progressive group tasks earlier.
Yes, sir.
Now if you look back, SSB में क्या किया था?
यहाँ YouTube पे क्या दिया देखा था? क्या फर्क क्या हो रहा है? What is the difference that you find? How to deal with the progressive group task?
What difference?
We have to analyze the structures and know which helping material to use at a particular structure.
What is there to analyze in a structure? Structure है खड़ा हुआ भूत सामने. That's it. What is there to analyze in a wooden structure? उसमें है क्या देखने वाला?
Sir, how to cross it and sir, how to.
Yes, what do
So
you
the shape of structure tells us the answer. If
It tells you the answer.
Yes.
But that's an obstacle.
Yes, sir. But
It's an obstacle.
Talks to you, sir.
Yes, is that an obstacle?
No, sir.
No, sir.
What is it?
Helping.
Yes,
Is something?
It's
it is
helping.
helping.
What is going to do? So where does the answer lie?
In the
In the
structure.
structure.
On the
Structure.
structure. Were you looking at the structure earlier when you went for SSB?
Are you really looking at the structure the way you're looking at it now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. So now what does the structure tell you?
Sir, about the new different ideas we can get. So I think I feel that where I can make something that can hold it. So with that, it is able to. I am able to clear it.
You're able to clear it. You think when you did the पिछले 2-3 बार गए थे जो PhD तब किया था और जो अब करोगे, what difference the two of you will find because you've been to SSB, you've done. What difference will you find in yourself now when you attempt the PGTs?
So now, because we have attempted it here also a lot of times and in the ground also, so we are confident that we will be able to deal with
But
it.
you attempted in the SSB also.
Sir, but sir, now we also learn the technique of it.
पहले क्या हो रहा था कि कुछ भी करके
Yes,
निकल
sir.
जाए. But now
we learn
there is
exactly how
a
to.
there is a method.
Yes, sir.
There is a
Method.
there is a method.
Yes.
And you're sure with this method you can take it on?
Yes.
Pushpa, you're going for the first time.
Yes, sir.
You think with this method,
Yes.
will that method help you? You really do. तुम्हें रटना पड़ेगा ये method कि अब वो instinctively आ गया.
Instinctively,
Has it become part of it?
Yes, sir.
Right? And it comes in normal thinking.
Yes, sir.
So every time you see when you see PGT, I mean like It is something that which is definitely possible to happen, or it's something very difficult.
Definitely possible, sir.
Possible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
But PG 3-4 तो बड़ी मुश्किल होती है, उसको कैसे करोगे?
Because
Same
if
technique
we
will
observe
be
the
there.
structure, if
Same
we
technique will be there also.
चाहे 3 में हो चाहे 4 में हो,
Yes, sir.
स्ट्रक्चर तो स्ट्रक्चर ही है,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You have to deal with it in 2, you got to deal with it in 3, you got to deal with it in 4, wherever it is.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So I mean, why do we call it progressive? क्या हर बारी मुश्किल बढ़ती रहती है?
Is it really more difficult 3 to 4 to whatever,
No, sir.
or it requires a little more involvement?
Yes,
It's
sir.
a
Yes,
little
sir.
more
Little more?
mind.
Yes, sir.
Involvement, right? So if you have understood PGT well here,
Then you think HTT and FGT and all will be okay,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
right? Okay, now comes the
part which is called the command task. What happens? क्या होता है command task में? How do you feel when you're going through the command task? इधर जब किया था तो क्या feel आ रहा?
Sir, when I was performing myself, so I was not able to get the ideas how to perform it. But when I was a
Helper or outside?
yes sir, then I was able to get the idea how it will.
So why do you think that happens? That अपनी बारे में नहीं आता, दूसरी बारे में आता. Why do you think that happens?
Nervousness.
हाँ जी.
Sir, I think that is a time when we are individually doing this and
You are under pressure,
under pressure, sir, and
right? So if you were to actually reduce your pressure
Yes.
yes,
and then deal with it,
yes,
you think you'll be able to get an answer?
Yes.
Now how do you reduce the pressure? You are being tested. The GT is standing on your head,
yes,
right? So Akshay, how do you think you'll be able to reduce the pressure now?
So because I know the technique now,
Hmm.
so I will keep repeating it in my mind.
Okay.
I will not think of the
So where does the answer come? On the ground or in your mind first?
sir, in my
In the mind first.
First in your
Mind.
mind.
Yes.
And the structure has to be uploaded in your head, or it has to be just on the ground,
Uploaded.
right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It can be uploaded.
Yes.
And if it is uploaded, you can get the answer. So the answer first hits the mind or first hits the ground?
It's
First
fine.
in my
And if it hits your mind,
It will hit the ground.
it'll hit the ground.
Yes, sir.
If the GTO changes anything, you'll be scared of him.
No, sir.
No, you think you can handle it?
Yes,
sir.
Why do you think you can handle it? वो तो बहुत कुछ कर सकता है जी.
तुम गए थे पिछली बारी जीटो ने जब बदली किया था तो क्या हो रहा था? When he changed something, what was happening now? And why do you think if it changes something, it will not happen now? Harsh,
Sir,
Akshay, हाँ.
sir, in the starting, I see that what all ideas can be put in it, and I see what application is every helping material or structure in that task is having. So with that, I am able to do now.
Neeraj, why do you think that 1 minute, the GTO gives you 1 minute in SSB?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
In the command task to think?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think that 1 minute is given to you and why is it important?
So first is that for 1 minute we have to observe the structure, and as you told that the idea first come in our mind. So I think we should observe and take an idea in our mind, then call the helpers there and implement the
How do you think you're going to use that 1 minute which is
So
given?
I'll first look at the structures and build a plan in my mind that I'll do so and so to pass the structures.
Akshay, how do you think that 1 minute which is given to you, how can you effectively use it?
So I'll upload all the structures in my mind, and then in my mind think of what will be my procedure further to go to the
Right.
next line.
Right.
Yes.
So now you attempted the command task earlier. You also attempted cloud. What difference you find in yourself from then to now?
So I start finding different ideas from the starting only. I see everything properly. I observe it. That what can be done with this. So everything that is there. So I feel that I see that in what way it can be used. So with that, I am able to implement more ideas in it.
Akshay, how do you think you can reduce the pressure on your mind in command task now?
So because I should only think of the answer, not about the time or anything. So by this thing I can reduce the pressure easily.
You think both of you will not be under pressure now when
Yes.
this you'll be able to handle it?
Yes.
Okay, so the fun part is what about the GOR? What about the snake race?
So it's like a game, sir.
You practiced it here?
Yes, sir.
It was fun time?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Huh? Were you able to, help each other or how
Yes,
was
sir.
it?
Yes.
But what if you get a guy who's a little slow and who's a little dumb or he's not really up to it? Leave him alone?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
How do you deal with such kind of guy?
Encourage
Cheer
him.
him up.
I mean, chढ़ जा बेटे स्कूल ही भगवान का नहीं
So
करेगा.
we'll help even.
Help.
Will you do that?
So we'll help
What will you do?
Sir,
You guys will pull him out, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Or will you curse him कि कहाँ से आ गया?
No, sir.
Huh?
No.
What will you do? Now, it is a group task or it is individual?
It's a group.
Group
So
task.
then what is important in GOR? What is important?
Whole group.
So we as a team have to win the race.
As a team, got to win the race, right?
Yes.
And as a team, by cursing each other, by fighting with each other, by calling
No,
names.
sir.
By
Cooperating.
helping each other, by
Even this guy who's messed it up, will you curse him or will you be taking him on and taking him along with you?
Taking along.
Right? So that is an important part. Were you able to do it here?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Right? So there also,
Yes, sir.
anything scary about it?
No, sir.
No. Right? So
That's the outdoor part of it. Now we come down to the starting with your GD.
yes. How many GDs did you practice?
So about 6 to 7.
6 to 7.
6 to 7 GDs you practiced here.
Good practice.
Yes, sir.
Were you told as to where you are thinking going wrong, where you need to do something, or were you not told?
Yes,
Yes, sir. We
Were you told only as a group or Pushpa you were told individually also?
Sir, individually also,
Also?
and as a group also.
As a group.
Also. So starting from the first GD that you did, Neeraj, to
Yes,
the
sir.
second, to the third, to the fourth, to the seventh that you did here, did it show that you were improving every time?
Yes, sir. I was improving every time.
Yes, Harsh. Now, when you go to SSB, when you went to SSB earlier to when you are going now,
What difference do you find in yourself that how will you be able to take on GD in a much better manner now?
Sir, now if I would be giving any point, so if I would be supporting any lead, so for that I would be giving a proper reason for it, that why I am thinking about it, not the other leads. So in that way I can give more ideas about it and give better points than earlier.
Sean, what do you think? In GD, it is my way, highway, or we are all in it together?
So we're all in it together.
But I think it should be push your way through. मेरी बात
Yes,
सुनोगे
sir.
तो
We should
ज़्यादा
express our own
हाँ.
opinions, but also
and make sure that everybody listens to you.
Yes, sir.
I mean, whether he likes it or not.
No, sir.
हाँ.
They would then, sir, if they are not.
Yes, Akshay, what do you think?
Yes, sir, we should put forward our points, but if we like the point of somebody else, we should be adding our point also into his statement.
And gracefully accept it.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, there are 3 options given to you.
The
Yes.
fourth one is any other.
Yes.
You have to stick to one option?
No,
No.
sir.
Huh? Why not?
Sir, it's not a debate, it's a discussion.
It is so you brought up important point here that it is not a debate, it's a discussion. And why do we discuss anything?
To show my way or to come to a common conclusion, or to come to a common understanding?
Come on,
Understand.
And to be better informed about it or to just be very adamant about it? And come to a better idea?
Yes, sir.
Right? So you think the GD, how important it is to understand the wordings in the GD?
So it's very
That the
important.
prelude he gives. Is it important to understand each and every word of it
Yes.
and understand it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes? Can a GD be worded differently and it requires a totally different managing?
No.
If I were to give you nuclear energy in India,
Yes, sir.
or I would say, should India have more nuclear power plants, or should I give hazards of nuclear plants? Is there a little tonal difference in the handling of it, or they are all just the same?
There's a slight difference.
There is a
Difference.
tonal difference. That means if you get a GD, whether it is on any particular subject, the sentence that the GTO uses will give you
The direction of the GD that you want.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of that fact now?
Yes.
Yes.
Were you being Harsh and you, were you being careful about the wordings that he was using earlier? Were you being careful about it? कि what is the direction that he is looking at? और कि ठीक है हमने न्यूक्लियर पावर के बारे में बात करना है या हमने पॉपुलेशन के बारे में बात करना है.
No, sir, I was not that much careful while listening to that.
That initial, the direction with the GTO gives.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what do you think? It is important to understand the direction or you have to just understand कि किसी बोलना है and keep speaking
So
what you
it's
want?
very important to understand direction.
And then take a call.
Yes.
Right? Otherwise you go out of context, isn't it?
Yes.
And if you go out of context, then what happens?
You may be speaking the whole time but you're out of context.
Yes.
Will it fetch you marks?
No, sir.
It will not fetch you the kind of marks that would see you through. So what do you think? Now with so much of practice, you'll be able to take on GD.
Yes, sir.
But then there'll be GDs in which you would have probably never had a knowledge of that. Then how do you handle that kind of thing? तुम्हें क्या पता है?
हर GD का तुम्हें knowledge नहीं हो सकता. Suddenly you get a GD in which you don't have the knowledge about it. Then what do you do then? How do you handle that kind of a thing?
So when
So we can listen to others' points and then come up with
Then build
ideas
up.
and yes,
Then build up.
yes, sir.
Yes, right?
yes.
And does the GTO give you an indication of the material within the initial narration that he gives?
Yes, sir.
Is there some information in that or there is no information in that? There is? So that means if you listen to the GTO very, very carefully and look at the options, even if you don't know, you can build up things from it.
Yes, sir.
So will it ever happen to you in your SSB that you will be totally at loss के पता नहीं कहाँ से GT देती, even if you did not know about it?
No, sir.
So you have a method?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Neeraj?
Yes, sir.
You think even if you've not heard about that, I mean पहले तो ऐसा आएगा नहीं कि अभी सुना ही ना हो. But if you have less knowledge about it, will you still be able to take it on? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So just why do you think that way you will be able to still take it on?
So, listening to the other people's and giving reasonable answers
Okay.
and logical ones.
Right. So that means is waffling more important, shouting more important, all the time speaking more important, or what word you used just now?
Logical.
Logic.
Logical, sir.
Huh? Logic is more important than the volume that you have.
Yes, sir.
Right? Should you be always participating non-stop 20 minutes?
No, sir.
Then what? Is it one time is good enough?
No,
No. Then what should you do? In the GD, you got 20 minutes. How should you handle it? How should you? What is your plan? How should you be going about your GD?
Should be presenting our thoughts and listening to other thoughts and giving reasonable answers.
And then maybe accepting or not accepting, right?
Yes.
So that means you have to intermittently keep speaking.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Or initial 5 minutes I speak a lot and I feel मेरा काम हो गया, I can put my legs up and then relax.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Or I'll keep waiting for 10 minutes and then think when everybody's finished the point,
No,
then I'll
sir.
start giving my points and then score a goal at that time. Will that be good?
Yes, sir.
Right?
So what do you need to do?
Sir, we need to give our points, but also listen to
Listen to others and be involved
In the whole
In the
discussion.
in the entire
During
20
the whole
minutes. I mean,
time.
not all the time, but you should be involved throughout the thing and not that कि कभी silent हो गया कभी वो हो गया.
Yes.
Right, so that's you. Now, how good are you feeling about your GP? How many GPs have you practiced here?
5 to 6 years.
5 to 6. Good enough, or you need more? This might be more.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What have you picked up in the GP? What is important in the GP?
So, first of all was the organized writing.
Okay.
We were not aware of how to write the GPE.
Okay.
Here we told about the prioritize, how to prioritize the problems, and
पुष्पा YouTube पे देखा होगा या नीरज देखा होगा लोग उसको बोलते हैं मिलिट्री प्लानिंग
Yes, sir.
है ना कोई मिलिट्री प्लानिंग था इसमें
No,
So
sir.
I think that it is a group activity and we should be come with a logical way to find.
You're from a defense background. You think it was a military planning required?
No, sir.
So when people call it military planning, is it right or wrong? You to really have to GP पता नहीं क्या plan करना है, पता नहीं क्या क्या उखाड़ के लेकर. Is it really something massive planning required? You need the entire, everybody has to exercise huge amount of knowledge and पता नहीं do something, or it is something which you have if you've been active in your life, you've been doing on a daily basis,
Yes,
Yes,
that's
Yes,
enough.
sir.
right? In your own school, college, you've been handling things.
Yes.
Are they not quite similar?
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right?
Yes.
So you think it is something that one should be
be scared of कि पता नहीं क्या प्लानिंग होगा कैसे होगा don't you think that was an understanding you had it earlier कि पता नहीं क्या प्लान करना है बहुत बड़ी बड़ी चीजें करनी हो so what do you feel now
So now I learned that my approach should be more practical, and that practicality comes from distance and time.
practicality is the most important part of it
Yes,
yes,
yes, sir.
okay how important is this to understand the concept of time and distance
So because
Yeah.
only with that we can come with a logical solution.
like if in a GP, Pushpa, Neeraj, if a candidate doesn't bother about the time and distance,
So
you think
there,
you think his plan will be of any use?
no, sir. For a logical plan, we should be concerned about the distance and time.
Now you
So-
think you can handle time and distance,
Yes, sir. I can handle.
right? When you went to Harsh and when you went to SSB earlier,
Yes, sir.
did you really have a clear concept on how to work out this time and distance concept?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It became more clear.
You became more clear here.
Yes, sir.
पहले क्या होता था कि दो लोग उधर चले जाएंगे दो लोग उधर चले जाएंगे I mean, if I have to remove time and distance from the GP and if I have to make a GP after that how much time does it require
No time, sir.
no time
Yes, sir.
what will I say two people will go there Two people will go there, three people will go there, GP finished.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is what normally happens in SSB.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So which is the factor that you got to understand?
The time is
Time
time.
is
Right. Now, when you get the GP in your hand, when you get to read it, is everything, whatever information required, is it clearly given there, or information is also in the narrative?
It is in the narrative also.
So is it important to read it carefully? Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
That means you have to read the narrative word by word or as a sentence?
So word by word.
Right. Have you experienced this, people, when you are doing here, that at times you are missing out crucial aspect in the narrative? And that made all the difference in your planning?
Yes, sir.
So, now what do you think? When you are reading that GP, when that narrative is given to you, what should you be
So
doing?
we should grasp all the information given in
Which is there? And which you can only do in a hurried manner, or you have to be little resilient about it, or be a little patient and spend good time on
So
it?
we should be
We should,
little
we
patient.
should spend
That-
some more
That 5-minute reading time, is it less or it is sufficient?
It's
It is
sufficient.
sufficient.
It is sufficient?
Yes, sir.
बट अगर आपको वैसे को बोले 5 मिनट में पढ़ के करना तो थोड़ा स्कैरी सा नहीं लगता?
No, sir.
And now,
Now it is
Not
not
scary.
scary for us.
okay, and 10 minutes is very less time to plan such a thing. 5-6 चीजें plan करने सोच सब कितना कम समय है, कैसे कर लोगे?
Sir.
So I think if we have get all the problems and logical answer, then it is enough 10 minutes to.
So basic
take
plan
a
comes
test.
while reading the narrative only.
Okay, what do you think that when the map is being shown to you, when the GTO is explaining the map, then he's explaining the entire narrative to you, and then he's giving you to read this thing in 5 minutes, and then he gives you 10 minutes to plan. Your planning starts in those 10 minutes, or does it start much earlier than that?
Sir, much
So much earlier.
When does it start?
Sir,
So
when he's
when
narrating the
start
problem.
explaining
From the time
the GTO is start
the
explaining
map is shown to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So that means I have only 10 minutes to plan, or I actually, if I am smart, I have more time to plan.
More.
I have more time to plan.
How much time do I have? Now let's see. When the map is being shown to you, there is planning going on in your head. Should it be going on in your head? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
When he's giving the narrative, then some planning should be happening in your head.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
But when you're planning, you'll lose out the GTO. पता नहीं क्या क्या गया, or you can do both.
We can do both.
You can do both if you're
Yes.
smart,
Yes.
Yes.
right? And when you're reading also,
Yes. Yes.
that means that scary part के 10 मिनट में plan करके लिखना भी है. Is it really scary now,
No,
No,
or
sir.
it can be handy?
It can be
Can be.
done.
Right? If you're smart about it, it can be handy, right? And is it really mission impossible?
No, sir.
Huh? Why do you think you're suddenly feeling confident about it? कि it is not mission. पहले तो पता नहीं YouTube में क्या क्या सुना था क्या क्या. Why do you suddenly now feel कि no, it is not mission impossible? You can handle it.
So
What makes you feel that?
So because of the practice we did here, and what mistakes we were told to work upon.
Were you given कि okay ये गलती इसको ऐसे ठीक
Yes,
करना,
sir.
right?
Yes.
Repeatedly,
Yes, sir.
right? So you had enough practice, and now you feel that if you were to be given a GP, I mean, it'll not be something that you'll really be scared of.
Yes.
But would you like to take it casually?
No, sir.
Huh?
No.
Yeah. Right. Now, what happens if your plan was not so good? How do you handle yourself in the GP?
So
The plan was
accepting
not so
others'
good.
point
So
and
we will accept
giving.
the outward plan. Will it do?
Right. So should I fall in love with my plan?
No, sir.
कि यही चलेगी या दूसरी चलेगी?
No,
No, sir.
Huh? Or I should be a little flexible.
Little flexible.
But I will not push my plan at all, or I'll try to push my plan.
Try
Try to push my plan
Logical.
up to a
extent.
up to an extent.
Yes.
But if you find that it is not really working, then be intelligent too.
Accept others' plan if they have a better.
If you have a better plan, right?
Yes.
So you think now you can, in the GD, you will be able to accommodate other people also and give your point of view also?
Yes,
Yes,
You think you will be able to speak or not be able to speak?
Will
Yes,
be able to-
yes.
What about the final narration? Should you be giving the final narration or no? Because I thought, I mean, it really makes not much of a difference. Or should you be giving the final narration or not?
If we get a chance, then we should.
You think you'll get a chance or you'll not get a chance?
We will get a chance.
While you were here, you
Yes.
thought you could get a chance or no? It
Yes,
was,
yes,
you
we
could.
get a chance.
Yes.
So if a person wants to,
They can.
We can.
then he can.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Should you or why take a chance? रहने दो खराब हो गया तो मुश्किल हो जाएगी आखिर में जाके मुसीबत हो जाएगी. Should you take that chance or not take the chance?
Take
Take
it.
the chance.
Are you really taking the chance or you're sure about it?
We are
Sure about it.
Then I said you'll take a chance. You said we'll take a chance. Are you taking a chance or you're showcasing yourself and you're confident about it? कि look, here I am, मैं सुना सकता हूँ.
We are confident.
You're confident? तो वहाँ chance दोगे कि करके दिखाओगे? Possible, not possible.
Possible.
What is important? The final narration. What is important?
So it should be the group plan.
It should be the group plan. What? You start giving all the logic there while narrating the final plan.
No,
No, sir.
No. Should you? Not required. Because if you give the entire logic, then what happens? You mess up the whole thing. In the writing, do you give the logic?
Yes.
Yes.
In the writing?
No, sir.
No. Then where do you give the logic?
In the JD, sir.
In the
Discussion.
GD, right? And in the GD, if you were to give good logic, then the job is done,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
right? Yeah. And if your logic was good, would you be confident to give the final narration, or you will not be confident?
we will be
Yes,
confident.
sir.
So now do you feel, again I get back to people who've been there, कि अब GP आएगी, जो पहले GP थी, अब GP आएगी. How do you think, what is the difference you feel now with yourself when you go to SSB at this moment?
So my plan would be more practical, and also as I would be listening from the starting to the JDU, so I would be using the resources given in a better way now, and in the group discussion also I would be able to give my points with more reasoning, and they would be listening.
Akshay.
So this time my plan will be more practical, and I'll be doing the final.
What do you think in the previous occasions, where did you mess up, which you will not mess up now? In the GPA?
So in grasping, this was the first thing, and I did not give the final solution.
Okay.
But now I have the.
But what about the planning part of it? Has
Sir-
it become any better now?
Yes, sir. It has become more fast now.
Right. He used the word called grasping. How important is it? Pushpa.
Yes, sir. It's
Sujal.
So it is the most important.
It is the
Most important part of
if you have not grasped the situation, you will never get the
solution.
right answer. So I have to be calm and collected, or I have to be hyper when the
Calm and
But it is a test here. How will you be a calm and collected? Test है, इसमें तो जान निकलती है, आगे की निकलती है. How will you be calm and collected?
so
ये तो झूठ बोल रहे हो.
No, sir.
हाँ हाँ झूठ बोल रहे हो. नहीं होगा. हाँ.
So we will measure the distance and time
हाँ.
when the first time
हाँ.
when the map will be shown. So we will be more comfortable after that.
Yeah.
So
So you think you can be in control?
yes.
Yes.
Huh? You think you can be in control? There is no need to get hyper,
Yes, sir.
right? And even if there is something which was not well planned, it can be covered where?
In the
Group
discussion.
In the
Discussion.
group discussion. But you think in the 20 minutes that you get, you will be able to convey what you want to, and you'll be able to adjust to
Yes.
the right thing,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
right? So you guys feel that this time Harsh, you GP, matlab
Yes.
10 on 10.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Huh? Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now what is the next one? We got lecturates. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very difficult. हाँ 3 मिनट में मेरी जान ले लो. हाँ ऐसे लगता है कि यार भगवान बचा ले. Yeah. Yes, Pushpa. How do you think? Lecture.
Sir, it seems to be easy for me now. Earlier, I used to collect all the factual data or the history of the topic, but now I want now I add some current affairs topic in the.
Neeraj, what do you think?
Sir, I think lecture should be prepared in a proper manner so that it reflects our contribution and our qualities in that lecture.
Rohan, you've been in the various defense schools and all. You must have participated in various maybe debates and everything. किया हुआ कभी? Anyone of you done any debates and all पहले कभी किया? Right. So now, how do you think when you talk of taking a lecture now, standing in front of people, you think your legs will shake?
No, sir.
Why not?
I'm confident of speaking and I have knowledge about the topic.
But any lecturer can be anything.
So
You may not have the knowledge of it.
So we are aware of most of the things which can come.
No, but the lecture can be something which you don't know.
Yes, sir.
Can it be that something you don't know?
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
You have forced the lecture on you.
No, sir.
What happens?
So there
The
four choices.
Right. Right?
Yes,
You
sir.
think you, with your background now, at least you will know one of them?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Or it will be God's grace?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Huh? You will be?
Yes.
Very sure?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Right? Now, if you know, how do you spend your 3 minutes? The 3 minutes that you get to prepare? Yes, Harsh. What were you doing earlier? What do you think you would be doing now?
So Sir, in the 3 minutes, I divide it in different parts, and I try to explain it better in a way like about it users I would be thinking about it, and about any issue would be there, so I would be giving solutions to it. So about that I would be thinking in that direction.
Is formatting important?
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Right? Is it important or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
And if you don't format your talk, then what will happen?
You'll forget.
Irregular thoughts, and we will be confused regarding it.
Right. How many times in SSD you've seen people who are not able to do 3 minutes?
Yes, sir. Sure answer.
है ना?
Yes, sir.
3 minutes नहीं हो पाते हैं. क्यों नहीं हो पाते?
So because
They are not able to
organize.
format.
But now do you think
Yes, sir.
you'll be able to only speak for 3 minutes or speak absolutely logically for 3 minutes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right. So you understood how to format,
Yes, sir.
total on, absolutely. I mean, lecture is your choice, something you can really showcase yourself. Will you be able to showcase yourself? I mean, make the GTU fall in love with you? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Huh? Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, we've seen this part now. Comes the interview. One-on-one interview. How many interviews did you have? Two. Were you given a feedback?
Yes, sir.
Right? And who took your interview? Your interview किसने किया?
The first interview was by the Sagar.
कुछ उनकी रैंक में मालूम है?
Definitely, sir.
Lieutenant General.
Definitely.
Yes.
हाँ. And दूसरी किसने की थी? नहीं नाम नहीं याद. कैसे लड़के तो? Anyway, so they were senior officers,
Yes.
Yes.
right? Very scary to sit in front of senior officer.
No,
Huh?
sir.
Huh?
Little bit uncomfortable.
Little bit. थोड़ा तो होता है. It could be,
Yes.
but not scary, but a little unnerving.
Yes.
Right. Now, how do you think that? How better are you prepared, and why are you better prepared to handle the interview now?
Sir, our communication skills has
So that's the first part. That communication is it. That's good.
and
What
general
else?
knowledge is also like what we have to study in the general.
You know.
Yes, sir.
And even if you don't know, you have little time now to work on it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else? What else makes you feel that you will be able to do really well in the interview?
Sir, now we are having proper knowledge about everyone, about around ourselves, like our friends, our relatives, and so in that way we are able to tell everything about ourselves, whatever is asked in the interview. So because of that, it creates confidence in us.
That famous thing, जो जिसको तुम लोग बोलते हो rapid fire, है ना?
Yes.
Huh? Is it really very fiery and very scary?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
8-10 क्वेश्चन अचानक मिल जाते हैं. How do you handle it? बड़ा मुश्किल सा लगता है. Can you handle it?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think you can handle it?
So because the question asked in rapid fire are particulars. For example, the interviewer will ask about the education.
If it is education, then it is with education.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't start from education to your girlfriend to your grandfather. It doesn't go that way. But did he ask you about the girlfriend?
No, sir.
No? How bad. I'll tell him next time that you should ask him about it. Anyway, right. So did you ever feel cornered? कि पता नहीं क्या पूछ लिया?
No, sir.
No? Why do you think you were not cornered?
So because all the interview was actually revolving around me only, and I know about myself. So
Okay, now if you compare this interview here to what you did in the SSB,
Yes, sir.
what difference do you find now?
Sir, in the SSB I was less informative, and I was not very prepared for how the interview will be.
And your answers were more like monosyllables?
Yes, sir.
Do you have to be verbose, or you have to be sufficient, or you got to be monosyllables?
Sufficient.
Sufficient, but not too verbose also, right?
Yes.
So, how important is your PIQ form?
Very important.
Very important.
Very important.
Yes. The,
Out of all the questions here also, or in your SSB also, if there were 100 questions, out of that, how many were directly from your PIQ form?
So 70%.
70% directly from your PIQ form. That means, तो PIQ form बैठ के रटेंगे?
No, sir.
मतलब रटना ही चाहिए ना? मैं कौन सी कक्षा में पढ़ा था, कौन सी स्कूल में मैं रट के जाऊंगा? Something which is dealing about you. So what is this interview all about? To scare you guys?
No, sir.
Make you sit in front of a senior officer and then तुम्हारा बैंड बजाओ.
No,
to
sir.
know more
Now, what is
about
this
you.
interview all about?
It is to
Know more about you and your personality and how
And why do you think people get stuck in the interview? फंस जाते हैं, क्या होता है, पसीने निकल आते हैं? Why that happens?
Sir, because they might be lying.
Huh?
They might be lying in front of him.
Okay, so that's an important aspect. Then we don't need to fib. We don't have to tell yarns, make stories. But we have to be absolutely Harishchandra. हाँ? कभी-कभी थोड़ा सा संभालना भी पड़ता है,
Yes, yes, yes.
है ना? Right?
Yes, sir.
We'll be truthful, but we'll be telling white lies.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
White lies के बिल्कुल ही झूठ बोल दिया.
No, sir.
No, but we can handle a little bit.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
But बहुत ज्यादा करोगे. But मुझे बताओ तुमने जिंदगी में ऐसा क्या कर लिया जो छुपाना है?
Sir,
तो ऐसा क्या ही कर लिया होगा
No, sir.
जो छुपाना है? Yes? No?
No,
So really, should you really be hiding things?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत, you can garnish yourself a little. What happens if you tell lies?
They will be good.
Huh? Try किया था? Did you try to tell a lie?
No,
No, sir.
But tele interview में तो कैसे किया था?
Sir, first time I had prepared answer like these answer could be of recommended candidate.
Okay.
So in that way I had
मुझे YouTube वाले बोलते हैं कि है ना 100 questions
Yes, sir.
हैं, क्या 10 tricky questions how to handle with them. I mean, are the question tricky or thought process is tricky?
Sir.
I mean, what can be a tricky question? Tell me, आता है ना YouTube पे 10 tricky question that he can ask you. What is tricky? I mean, what do you mean by a tricky question?
Nothing.
What is a tricky question? I mean, were you asked any tricky question in your SSB or here? No? If you're truthful, it is not tricky.
Yes.
If you're telling lies, then obviously it is tricky. Right? Now, what do you, I mean, सुना होगा, what can, तुमने देखे भी होंगे, what are called tricky question होते क्या हैं वैसे? मुझे भी नहीं पता है, also have no idea. क्या होते हैं? What are tricky questions? 10 things that you should not be telling about yourself. 10 things which are, ऐसे आते हैं ना बड़े सारे YouTube पे.
Yes, sir.
अब बताओ ऐसा क्या चीज है जो अपने बारे में नहीं बताना चाहिए कि सुबह मैं ब्रश नहीं करता हूँ या I get bad dreams in the night or what is it? 10 things that you should not be telling. How to face tricky question. मतलब क्या होता है मुझे बताओ. I also want to learn from your guys' experience. What is it? ऐसा क्या है? है कुछ ऐसा?
No, sir.
When does it become tricky?
When
When you start telling stories, when you start telling lies, so there is no need to. And what is there to hide? Really speaking,
Yes.
Yes. There's
what is there to hide?
Nothing.
I mean,
Sir.
when you are growing up, छोटी मोटी बदमाशी ये वो तो सब करते हैं ना.
Yes, sir.
Do you think interviewing officer ने खुद नहीं की होगी?
Yes, sir.
की होगी ना? Right? तो तुमने भी थोड़ी बहुत की है, तो it's okay. It's okay to be little chulbul bande or you have to be a holy cow? Tell me. Do we want that you have to be holy cow?
No, sir.
कि गौ का बच्चा इसको भेज दो.
No, sir.
नहीं? तो it's okay to be a little chulbul. तो उसमें छुपाने की क्या बात है? मैं तुमने ऐसा क्या ही कर दिया होगा जो तुम छुपाओगे, right? So should you really be doing it?
No.
No. So if you're truthful, if you have other things, I mean, then he can ask you. I mean, in your actual SSB or here, where was it that you felt कि हे भगवान आज बचा ले? I mean, like, what did he ask me? ऐसा क्या पूछ लिया? I mean, I don't have an answer to it. ऐसा क्या हुआ? कब हुआ ऐसा?
Sir, when it was about comparing myself with my brother.
Okay. I mean, was the question tricky or what you never thought about it?
Sir, I didn't thought about it.
I never thought about it, right? So that means we never sit down with ourselves and we do not analyze ourselves. That is why we land up in problem.
Yes.
If a candidate sits down with himself, by himself, and analyzes on what he or she is doing, then he can land up with better answers,
Yes.
Yes.
right? So we need to ask ourselves a few questions, right? Can there be any candidate who's 100% in everything? वो बोलते हैं ना 16 कला संपूर्ण. हो सकता है. Can we find a candidate like that? Do we want a candidate like that?
No, sir.
Did anybody tell you that you got to be top class in everything,
No.
or you got to be reasonably okay?
Reasonably.
Reasonably okay. So now when you go for SSB now, screening तो हो जाओगे ना पक्का.
Yes, sir.
वापस तो नहीं आओगे ना.
Yes.
Definitely, right. So now when you go to the interview, how have you prepared yourself? How are you feeling better about it? And what do you need to do to work on your interview? Yeah. And what was your experience here?
So now I'm reading more about current affairs and I've tried to know more about my family and
Right.
so I'm more aware of the general and
Yes.
So I will also learn more about current affairs and the feedback which was given to me after both my interviews, I'll be working on them.
Yes, dear.
The feedback given by the SSH here. So first thing that the general awareness and the knowledge about the service of my choice. And the second thing is my limited effort in my communication skills. That is.
Sir, I would be doing practice of all these tests, and at home, when I would be practicing, so I would be keeping that in mind that what all weaknesses what all things I did wrong, so I would not be repeating again that.
Yes, good.
Sir, I have started working more on current affairs and general knowledge, and sir, now I'm also analyzing that earlier I was not that how I spend my time with family, what are their weaknesses or strength, but I will start working on this.
Yes, sir.
Sir, one of the things is general knowledge, and I will be doing a mirror practicing to boost my self confidence and to know more about my family members.
Okay, so in the 2 weeks that you spent here, what kind of growth have you seen in yourself?
So I've become
Sir.
more serious and I've started respecting time.
That's very good, excellent.
So the self confidence and
So this is
Overall growth, sir. I've been working on my mistakes and trying to improve them and not make the same mistakes again and again.
So this is the shortest period of my life which I have learned the most of about me.
So मतलब इस तरीके का growth
कभी नहीं हुआ.
नहीं हुआ पहले नहीं हुआ, right? So you're proud of yourself,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
right? So you have, can I say that you discovered yourself?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
And the discovery was nice and sweet or no bad?
nice.
Nice.
Huh?
Yes.
You're feeling more proud of yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
You're feeling more confident?
Yes.
You're feeling more like it. कि look, if there is anybody, it is me who can pass.
Yes.
क्या बोलते हैं that slogan आता है? Do you have it in you कि मैं तुम्हारे अंदर डालूं कुछ?
Have it.
You have it?
Yes.
Yes.
Huh? You suddenly realize you have it in you,
Yes.
right? So will you let your guard down?
No.
You'll go with absolute confidence,
Yes.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And I do not have diabetes. What does it mean? मिठाई लाओगे?
Yes.
यार क्या you like? Huh?
Right?
Yes.
So God bless you guys. We've enjoyed being with you. I'm sure you've also enjoyed yourselves here, right? And keep in touch with your friends. Don't lose your friends, right? सब लोगों में academy इकट्ठे ही होंगे ना?
Yes.
You want to be together or no?
Yes, sir.
हाँ? तो
Yes.
मजा आएगा नहीं आएगा?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
तो मेरा बैक फ्रंट सारा स्ट्रॉन्ग है कि नहीं?
Yes.
Right? So we're gonna just go make the best out of it,
Yes.
right? And we're gonna get very good results just because we're thinking, we work for it,
We work for it.
right? And we're not getting our guard down till the time our SSB happens,
Yes.
right? So God bless you all. Have a great
time, look after yourself, right? And go and जाके अपने पहले parents को give them a tight hug, right?
Yes, sir.
And go and show to them that that they need to be really proud of you and they should really feel good about you, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
all the best.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.